Oh, will you lighten up? Of course I care about her. Well, then why don't you start showing it instead of using her to feed that ridiculous ego of yours? I'm not doing that at all.
I have to ask you just one thing about Mitch.
What?
Did he save your life?
Yes. Anything else?
Heaven, you're not giving me up. That's all been in Rena's head. You're a married man.
Well, Pat, does that really make that much difference?
Yes, it certainly does.
No, I don't think people legislate their emotions that way.
Maybe they don't, but adult people learn to control them.
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
There's Bailey. Okay, Lee, we better get these down to the lab right away. Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, kid. How did you know I would want McFeely's chart?
Nurse's intuition.
Oh, aren't you sharp this morning? Anything new with him?
Yes, he's feeling much better this morning.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
You know, I always know that patients are feeling better when they start complaining about breakfast.
Back to his feisty old self, is he?
I'm sorry I'm late. Hello, Dr. Matthews.
Good morning. Good morning. What is this about you being late?
Oh, I told Kid I would be here first thing, and, well, I just overslept.
Well, it's partly my fault I didn't wake you before I came to work.
At 6:30 in the morning, it's just as well.
Well, you were up so late last night, I figured you'd need your sleep.
You're having trouble sleeping?
Not any more than usual.
Must be you're worried about your husband, huh?
Well, I've always been somewhat of a night person.
Would you like to see Uncle Lloyd now?
Yeah, how is he this morning?
He spent a comfortable night.
There's no improvement?
Actually, it's pretty hard to tell until we run some tests. We would like to do an angiogram.
Why wasn't that done before?
His condition's been a little too serious for that. Would you like me to take you over to the CCU?
I'd appreciate that.
Well, I thought you might. Keep it handy.
There goes Mr. McFeely's light again.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Mac's better.
Oh, that's good.
You can see for yourself. I'm sure the doctor wouldn't mind.
Oh, well, listen, I didn't get any sleep last night. I'd like to talk to you.
What do you want to talk about?
Spinning around all night long.
Well, then it's a good thing that Charlie's away on a business trip, huh?
Yeah, it is a good thing. I would have had to have told him what was on my mind. He's still upset because I couldn't tell him about what you were up to with Mac and Janice.
I had to keep that secret.
I know you did.
So he doesn't understand?
Well, honey, he's my husband. You can't blame him.
Is this what you wanted to talk to me about?
Yeah, well, there's something else I can't talk to Charlie about now. You and Mitch.
I'm sorry I told you about it.
I'm not.
Well, it kept you up all night.
Because I was worried about you.
I've got to learn not to dump all my problems in your lap.
I want you to dump them in my
But
lap.
what good did it do? It didn't do you any good. It didn't do me any good. It just means that both of us are upset now.
Well, it made you feel better,
No,
didn't
it didn't.
You had to sleep with Mitch Blake to save Mac's life.
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
Well, it's true. If you hadn't, Mitch would have found out that you were there to find Mac and Janice.
Can you imagine saying that to any sane, rational person and expecting them to understand?
Yes, I can.
Well, I can't.
Mac would understand.
No, he wouldn't, and he's not going to know about it.
You can't be sure of that.
I'm not going to tell him, and you're not going to tell him.
Why won't you tell him?
I can't.
Rachel, if I understand...
No, Mom.
You're not giving Mac enough credit.
Men are different. He would say he understood and he wouldn't.
Maybe Mac already thinks that you had an affair with
No, he
Mitch.
doesn't.
I don't mean in St. Croix. Maybe he thinks you had an affair with him right here.
I know what you mean.
What is that, some kind of intuition or something?
Yeah, sort of.
Sounds to me more like wishful thinking.
Look, I know Mac better than anyone. He doesn't think I was having an affair with Mitch Blake.
Now, maybe you're right. But this is different. I mean, this really happened.
Yeah, I know that.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, I don't see that I have to do anything.
Would you rather Mac heard the story from somebody else?
Who else would tell him besides you or me?
Now, we both know the answer to that, don't we?
Mitch wouldn't tell him.
Don't be so sure.
It's not his style.
Suppose he did. Mac would be deeply hurt. Do you want that?
No, of course I don't want it.
Then how can you take that chance?
Mac is going to be hurt no matter what I do. You know what I really wish? I really wish Mac would never have to find out that Mitch and Janice were lovers. That's what I really wish.
Boy, that's wishing a lot.
He's had so much unhappiness.
Mac is a strong man.
Yeah, well, even strong men have their breaking points.
I can't see Mac breaking
His
somehow.
own wife tried to kill him. Don't you think that's going to stick in his mind for a while?
He'll get over that. It'll take him time, but he'll get over it.
I wonder if he's going to be able to trust anyone when he finds out the whole story.
Well, honey, I don't know. There might not be any way of keeping this from him.
Well, he's not going to find out about me and Mitch. That part of the story he's never going to find out. Never.
You say he's better?
Fever's abated. Seem to have the infection under control.
When can he be moved?
Well, it's difficult to say. Shouldn't be too long now.
He's still delirious.
No. It's not.
Good lucky man. That stab wound was pretty nasty.
Call this lucky.
At least you're talking today.
To who?
George Kane, St. Croix Police.
Pleasure.
It's good to see you haven't lost your sense of humor.
How am I doing, Doc?
Much better. Fever continues to stay down. I'd say you're out of the woods.
Looks like I'm headed into...
Now, Mr. Blake, before we say anything more in this room, I'll have to advise you to read your rights.
Am I under arrest?
That's correct.
Then read away.
You've been advised you're under arrest. You have a right to remain silent and to refuse to answer any questions. Do you understand? Mr. Blake, I need an answer.
I understand, Mr. King.
Anything you say can be used in a court of law against you. You have a right to consult an attorney before speaking to the police and to have an attorney present at any time now or in the future.
Is that it?
That's it. Anything you want to say?
It's all the same with you gentlemen. I'll just, I think I'll remain silent.
And your attorney?
I don't have one.
Well, the government will provide you with one if you wish.
Well, thank you, but I'll think about that.
If you're trying to put off...
Mr. Kane, if you could give me a break here.
I'm trying to help.
I'll take care of it. I'll find a way.
I should advise you that we have a guard posted outside the door.
Well, I'm not going to be going anywhere.
We'll speak with you later.
You know where to find me. Okay, Mac, hold up your right hand. Now make a fist, huh? Very good.
Can't you give me something more difficult than that to do?
Well, you don't remember when they brought you in here. That was difficult.
Oh, there you are.
Rachel?
Well, where else would I be?
Well, I thought you were in the CCU.
Well, we moved him out of there early this morning.
Yes, but nobody told me.
Well, somebody must have taken away the little note I pinned on the pillow. Improved, moved.
Oh,
What's that for?
just for you being you.
Well, I've been me as long as I can
Well,
remember.
try and stay that way, all right? How is he?
A new man.
Well, almost. He ought to be out of here by the end of the week.
Oh, that's wonderful. He's that much better?
And so the tests indicate. Russ asked me to double check.
Well, do you agree?
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, Mac, that's terrific. Isn't that exciting?
You're more excited than I am.
Well, if you excuse me, I'll drop in later.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Kevin. Oh, that's such good news. Aren't you excited?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am.
You don't seem it.
Well, I was just thinking at the same time I was being excited.
About what?
Kevin says I can make a few phone calls.
Oh, Mac, not about business.
No, I was thinking of calling Liz and asking her to find me a good room at the Bayview.
At the Bayview?
Yeah. Well, we gotta go somewhere.
Kevin said you could come home.
That's what I mean.
You only have one home, Mac.
What's that?
With Amanda and me, so you need to ask. Oh, come on, Mac. I want to take care of you. Brooks and Louise, Amanda want to take care of you.
Rachel, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Well, we have plenty of time to talk about them.
Don't you think maybe we ought to talk first?
You don't want to come home?
I didn't say that, Rachel.
Well, look, you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings.
I wouldn't hurt you
If
for
you
the
don't want to
world.
be with me right now, I understand
Rachel,
that. But
I didn't say that.
You're hesitating, Mac.
Well, are you sure that you really want me there?
More than anything in the world.
All right. That's what I want to, then. More than anything in the world.
You're not just saying that.
You know me better than that.
But you seem so unsure.
Well, I don't want you doing it out of pity.
Oh, Mac. I would never pity you.
After all, you know, there are certain practical considerations.
Yeah, you know what one of the prime practical considerations is getting you out of that hospital gown and into some pajamas.
It is pretty unattractive, isn't
It's
it?
hideous. What? What is it?
It's so strange.
What's strange?
Well, I've lost so much of last month. I have big gaps in my memory.
It'll all come back to you.
Mitch,
What about Mitch?
how is he?
I don't know, Mac.
Is he still in St. Croix?
I wouldn't know. Oh, looks like you have company.
Well, the more the merrier in this case. You betcha.
And that's all I have to say to you.
Nobody could say it better.
Listen, Scott Bradley's done all.
He wants to talk to Mac?
I guess he does. He's talking to Dr. Cook.
Oh, well, I'll be right back.
Well, where you going?
I'm going to go talk to Scott.
I heard that he flew down to St. Croix yesterday.
Who told you that?
Two of the nurses were talking. You'd be surprised what the nurses know here.
I don't want you talking to Scott.
Rachel.
It's too soon.
Well, he just may want to know how I'm doing.
No, he wants to ask you questions about St. Croix.
Well, in that case, I'll tell him what I know.
You shouldn't even be thinking about it, Mac.
Darling, Scott has a job he has to do.
Yes, but you just said right now you have all sorts of gaps in your memory.
Come in.
Hello, Mac.
Oh, Scott.
Mac, you're looking great.
Well, that's what everybody tells me.
Scott, if you've come in to ask Matt questions, I just don't think it's a good time.
Well, Dr. Cook said there shouldn't be any...
Just take my word for it. I don't think it's a good time.
My spokesperson.
Well, I guess there's really no hurry.
Scott, did you see Mitch?
Yeah, I saw him.
Then he survived it all right.
Well, he's alive, Mac. He's pretty bad. He's pretty sick, but he is alive.
Did you talk to him?
Well, not really. He did most of the talking.
Was he cooperative?
He was delirious, just kept rambling on about, things.
What things?
Well, as a matter of fact, Rachel, now that you mentioned it, he, talked a great deal about you.
Well, won't you share it with us?
Well, I don't mean that it's funny. It's just that, I don't think you'd see any humor in it.
Well, try us.
Well, he just kept repeating something about snowmen.
Well, what's so funny about that?
Well, I told you that you wouldn't find it amusing.
But you did.
Well, I meant that it was funny, strange. I mean, here I am in this sultry Caribbean island with the sun beating down on us, and he just kept rambling on about snowmen.
I thought you said before he kept rambling on about Rachel.
Yeah, what's Rachel got to do with snowmen?
Well, there's no connection, except he did mention her name. He kept saying, breakdown, and I shouldn't have told Rachel.
His mother.
Pardon?
His mother had a breakdown.
Oh. You know, I feel as though I'm on a witness stand here.
Oh, we're just as anxious to resolve the situation as you are, Scott.
Look, Mac, one thing that we will have to do is take a statement from you and Rachel.
Why?
Well, we'd have to send it down to the St. Croix authorities so that they can press charges against Mitch.
But won't they do that anyway without a statement from us?
No, not by a long shot. Unless you and Mac are willing to testify. They have hardly a case at all against them.
Scott, you say this can wait?
Yeah, it could. It would be better if it didn't.
Well, I mean just for a little, till Rachel and I talk.
Yeah, sure. Look, Mac, I don't want to tire you out here.
I'm sorry we haven't been more helpful.
I'll check in with you later today.
Thank you, Scott.
Take care. Bye.
It's time for me to go, too.
Oh, you don't have to rush off, do you?
Well, do you really want me to stay?
No, I guess not.
Honey,
Everything's going to be all right.
are you sure? I wish it...
Just let's not talk anymore about St. Croix, okay?
Okay.
Are you asleep?
Just resting.
You let me know if I'm pestering you too much.
Rachel, you don't have to stay all day here in the hospital.
I'm here because I want to be, and also I wanted to show you this.
Oh, this some of your latest work?
Mac.
I'm only joking. Actually, it does show talent.
Yes, well, it should. It's a Amanda Corey original.
I recognize the signature.
You should be very proud of your daughter.
I am.
That's actually a portrait, it goes this way, of her Raggedy Ann doll.
Yes, I recognized it immediately.
Mm-hmm. And she had a lot of help from the household staff on that.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, and some special tutoring by her mother, the renowned artist.
I'll have to ask you one question about Mitch.
No more questions, Mac. You need your rest.
I get plenty of that, more than enough. 24 hours a day of it.
Not if you spend your time thinking about what happened in St. Croix.
You really expect me not to think about it?
Yes, if you want to get well.
I'm getting well.
Mac, please don't worry about it now. Just wait. Wait for a while until you're back home in your own surroundings.
I can only remember.
It'll come back.
Yes, it already has. But it's so disjointed. For example, I was remembering what happened around the pool there at the last.
What do you remember about that?
Well, it's very vague. When I get a flash of it, it slips away again.
Mac, maybe that's your mind telling you that it's too soon.
Please help me.
I'll help you by taking your mind off of it.
I have to ask you just one thing about Mitch.
What?
Did he save your life?
Yes. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Mac, he saved your life, too.
Would you do me a favor?
What?
Put in a call to Brian Bancroft for me.
About Mitch?
Dad, help! Mrs. Corey, there's a phone call for you.
Dr. Jones, please call me, sir. Dr. Jones.
Hello?
Is that you, Rachel?
Mitch?
Yeah, I don't have a long time.
I'm surprised they let you call me.
They don't know.
Well, how are you? I've been worried about you.
All right. And Mac?
Oh, he's doing very well. He's been very fortunate.
Listen,
What?
there's a lawyer coming down here, Brian Bancroft.
He's very good, Mitch.
Well, I'm not sure it really makes any difference at this point.
Don't say that.
That's the way it is.
Look, you'll feel differently when you feel better.
Right, when I feel better.
You will.
Look, I don't want to go into this, but I need to ask you something.
What?
If you told anybody that we spent the night together,
No, I haven't.
I didn't think you had.
What about you? Have you told anyone?
No, I haven't told anybody.
Well, then there's no reason it should ever come out.
No, I guess not.
I don't see why either of us would be questioned, as to whether anything went on between us and St. Croix.
Only that it's fairly common knowledge that a lot of people knew we were seeing each other in Bay City.
True.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right, well, one other thing.
What?
You said that you stayed with me that night because you thought that I might lead you to Mac.
Yeah, that's why I did.
So if I hadn't run into you outside of the hotel,
I would have waited until you came out, and then I would have followed you to where they were.
so you wouldn't have slept with me then.
No.
I see.
Mitch?
Yeah.
I have to ask you something very important, too.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'd never shown up in St. Croix, would things have turned out the way they did?
How do you mean?
Would you have stopped Janice from killing Mac?
Oh, Rachel?
Just a minute, somebody's here. Hold on.
Rachel, I was hoping to be able to see Mac.
Oh, well, Gwen, I've been very careful about who sees him and what they talk to him about.
I see, so you probably pretty much kept off the subject of Janice, I guess.
Yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah. Boy, Mac must be in a state of shock over what happened.
He's in agony.
Yeah. Well, I guess this probably isn't the best time for me to see him then, because no matter how hard we tried, I'm sure the subject of Willis or Janice would eventually have come up.
He's thinking a lot about Willis. I know that, and what Willis is going through.
Well, he was so close to his sister.
Mm.
Rachel, the reason that I wanted to speak to Mac was that I am afraid that someone will get to him and say some upsetting things about Willis.
Who?
Iris.
Iris? What would she say?
She thinks that Willis was a party in this murder plot.
With Janice? That's impossible.
Well, not according to Iris.
She should talk. She's been Janice's champion.
I know.
Look, I just think that Janice has taken everyone in. Her husband, her brother, her friends. Look, you don't have to worry about what Iris says about Willis.
Well, thanks. I'll try not to.
Have you heard from Willis since he went to Chadwell?
Sure. He calls me every night. The funeral was day before yesterday. He says the whole family's extremely upset, especially Emma.
Well, I'm sorry.
What about you, Rachel?
What about me?
Well, how are you doing?
Dr. Hager, please call
Oh, part of me is very happy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of unfinished business.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure you and Mac will get back together before too long. It'll just take some time.
He's agreed to come home and convalesce. That's one thing.
Hey, that is great. And what about Mitch Blake? What's going to happen to him now?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Not to mention Rachel.
Mitch, are you telling me that you withhold the whole story, even from your attorney?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, I think we better talk about that.
There's nothing to talk about. There have been plenty of innocent people that have been hurt from this.
Oh, that's a very admirable position to take, but...
But what?
Well, you might place yourself in jeopardy as a consequence.
It might be so. From where I'm standing, this case is lost.
Mac doesn't think so. And, didn't you, say that you would, keep quiet for his sake? Is that true?
Well, for his sake and everybody else's.
Well, what about Janice?
Janice is gone.
Oh, but you were very close to her.
So I prefer to keep my grief to myself. Thank you.
I'm simply trying to understand, Mitch.
Well, I just don't see any reason to have her name dragged into this, that's all. Is that satisfied?
Yes.
So, will you represent me?
Well, I don't know that I can do a very good job if you're not open with me.
Well, a yes or no will do.
The answer is yes. I'll do the best I can under the circumstances.
All right, thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Mac.
So where do we go from here?
Well, I don't know how much you know about the law.
Well, not much. I've always managed to stay clear of it.
Yes, I'm aware that you've had no previous record.
Yes, how'd you know that?
The St. Croix police checked. So did Scott Bradley in Bay City.
What kind of case is he going to get against me?
Well, I haven't had much time to go into the facets of the case, you understand.
In your opinion?
Well, my opinion is this. If you plead innocent to attempted murder, the charges will have to be dropped.
Why?
Because there won't be a case if Rachel and Mac won't testify against you.
And what makes you think they won't?
I know they won't.
Who told you?
Because I've discussed it with both of them.
Well, can't they be forced to testify whether they want to or not?
Yes, I suppose they could be subpoenaed. But most of their testimony would be inadmissible anyway.
I don't follow you.
Well, whatever Rachel says is hypothetical. Just as hypothetical as her theory that Janice was poisoning Mac.
But she suspected.
Yes, but she never could prove it. That's why she couldn't get me or Scott to listen to her.
What about the police? What about, didn't they find anything in the house that Janice rented?
Yes, they found a small packet of the drug, but there was nothing linking you to it.
And Mac? Does he remember anything the last day?
No, Mac doesn't remember much that happened that day or the days previous to it. And there's a chance that he never will. Besides, he knows that you saved Rachel's life.
So you're saying he doesn't want to see me punished or pay my debt to society?
And neither does Rachel. Because in saving her life, you also saved Mac's.
So, you're telling me if I plead innocent,
you'll never go to trial.
And that's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line, Mitch. Oh, you can be a free man when you leave this hospital.
Not free of what's happened.
Well, perhaps you'll have a chance to redeem yourself.
You buy that?
Yes, I do. I also believe that you hold your fate in your own hands.
Let me ask you something.
What?
I know you're here in a professional capacity.
Tell me what you want to know.
I'd like to know your personal feelings.
My personal feelings?
Yes, I'd like to know about this, what you think.
There's a saying. I don't remember who said it, but I believe it.
And what is that?
Your character is your fate.
That's where you think I stand in all this?
Isn't that what you wanted to know?
Yes, it is.
Of course, I don't really know your character, Blake. But whatever's due you will come. I'll get a nurse. It's all right.
Character is my fate.
Rachel, you've been very understanding.
Oh, I wish there was some way I could stop you from thinking about all the things that are causing you pain.
It's just that I was so blind. You warned me about Janice, but I didn't listen.
Oh, please, Meg, don't reproach yourself. That doesn't serve any purpose.
No, I mustn't fall into self-pity.
No, I didn't mean that.
You've been far more generous and understanding than I have any right to deserve.
Please don't talk like that.
Well, it's the way I feel.
You have no reason to feel that way.
Can't help it.
Mac, listen to me. I'm not here out of generosity or pity or understanding. I'm here because I care about you. That's why I went down to St. Croix.
St. Croix.
Darling, it's over now. It's over, and every day it's going to get easier for you.
So many things.
Yes, I know.
You know what's going to pick up my spirits?
No, what?
Seeing Amanda again.
Oh, that'll happen very soon.
I'm sure that's going to help me to believe things are back to normal.
She misses you so much. So do Louise and Brooks.
You told them that you asked me to come over to the house?
Of course I did, and they're looking forward to it.
How about you? You're really sure that you want me to come there to recuperate?
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm going to try to be a good patient.
I know. What, Mac?
I was just thinking of Willis, what he must be going through.
Yes, I know.
It must be terrible for him.
Gwen says it hasn't been easy for him.
You've seen Gwen?
Yes, that's why I was delayed coming in here.
Oh, where is she?
She was here at the hospital.
Is she coming to see me?
No, she's going to do that on another day.
Oh, well, what did she say about Willis?
He's in Chadwell, and he's
what?
He took Janice back to Chadwell.
Oh. Well, the minute he gets back to Bay City, I want to see him.
All right.
Did Gwen tell you anything else? Did everything go all right in Chadwell?
Mac, do you really want to talk about this?
No, I don't.
And there's no reason to.
Mrs. Corey, pardon me. Mr. Bradley is here to see you.
All right, thank you.
Rachel,
Yes, Mac.
what are you going to tell Scott about Mitch?
Whatever's required.
But you didn't mention any names, and you certainly didn't give me any evidence. So there was nothing I could do about it.
You thought I was crazy. That's what you told Brian.
Well, due to the circumstances, you can understand that, can't you?
No, I can't. Not in view of the fact that Janice was giving Mac the drug at the time.
Which you say that you realized intuitively.
No, it wasn't intuition only. It was the book, Scott. Harry Must Die.
Rachel, Harry Must Die is a piece of fiction.
I know that.
Well, just because that story parallels what happened to Mac, that doesn't prove anything.
Excuse me, Scott.
Yeah, well, what?
I was wondering if Mrs. Corey has any evidence at all that Janice Corey read Harry Must Die.
She had access to it.
No, Rachel, that's not evidence.
Is there anyone at Corey Publishers that might know whether she read it?
She was too smart for that.
Did Mitch Blake ever mention to you that he read that book?
No.
But he could have.
Yes, she could have given it to him.
Are you referring to the manuscript that Pat Randolph said was lost in the mails?
It wasn't lost in the mail, Scott. She took it right out of the office.
Oh? Well, how do you know that?
I just know.
You mean you surmised it, huh? Just the same way that you surmised that Janice and Mitch were having an affair all winter?
Are you saying you don't believe that they were having an affair? Is that it?
It doesn't matter what I believe. Do you have any proof of it?
No.
You know, Rachel, I just can't believe that you haven't allowed for the possibility of collusion between Janice and Mitch. I don't believe that.
No, there wasn't any.
You're telling me that you think that Janice did this solely on her own?
Yes, I do.
You don't think that Mitch Blake was involved?
I don't know whether he was or not.
So, what does your intuition tell you, huh?
I thought you just wanted facts.
Look, Rachel, you know, I think that you're trying to protect Mitch Blake out of gratitude. That's what I think.
I am grateful to him. So is Mac. He saved both of our lives.
Rachel, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that you might not know. Any halfway competent defense attorney could have Mitch Blake acquitted of this thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because the only person that could testify against him and put him in jail is dead.
Janice?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Now, what are your feelings about that?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I've been such a fool.
Why?
I made such a botch of things in my marriage with Janice. I'm sure nobody will believe this. I knew it was a mistake within a month of the marriage.
I believe it.
You do? Oh, why?
Well, because you talked about Rachel a lot every chance you got.
You mean I gave myself away?
Pretty easy to see through, you know. You remember how jealous you were of Frank Lance?
Do I ever? Yes.
Boy, you criticized just about everything she did. Anybody'd think you were still married to her.
Well, I guess I couldn't get her out of my mind.
I think she knew it.
She did.
Yeah. Anyway, that doesn't matter anymore. She's happy that you're all right and that you're back with her.
You really think she's glad to have me back?
Mac, I know you're in rough shape, and I know you've been through a lot. I've been asked some dumb questions in my life, but that is the dumbest question I have ever been asked in my life.
Oh, you're wonderful.
Oh, hi, Mom. I didn't know you were here. I was just down in the cafeteria having something to eat.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, what have you two been talking about?
That's strictly between Ada and me.
Well, it must be something pleasant, judging from your faces.
Oh, I was just telling Mac the news. The local news.
Well, just as long as you weren't talking about other things.
She's really laying down the law.
She is.
Well, listen, you can talk about anything you want to on Friday when you're home.
You know, your daughter has the ability to turn off problems like other people turn off water faucets.
Tell me about it.
That's what we survivors have to do, Mac. That includes you.
All right.
Well, I think that is a hint for me to leave.
No, you don't have to leave. You can stay. Wait a minute. You can stay a little longer.
Oh, thanks a whole lot. Boy, with a, her for a nurse, you don't need anybody else.
You're telling me.
Well, listen, are there any complaints? I'm the one who got you these late visiting hours, you know.
Oh, is that why I didn't have to talk my way in here?
Mac, you're not tired, are you?
No, I feel fine. Oh, excuse me. I got it. Yes? Yeah, speaking. Person to person from who? All right. It's Mitch Blake.
Well, Mac, I'll talk to him.
No, it's all right, dear.
Relax.
Mac Corey?
Speaking.
Yes, Mitch Blake.
Yes, I know.
I hope I'm not disturbing you. I know it's late.
No, it's all right.
The operator said that you were still taking calls.
Yes, actually, I've just about recuperated. They're going to discharge me day after tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I would have called earlier, but I took a while to find the nerve.
Makes you nervous to talk to me? Yes, well, I can understand that. What is it you wanted to say?
Well, are you alone?
No, I'm not.
I'd like to talk to you privately, if that's possible.
All right. You'd like to speak to me alone?
About what?
I don't know yet.
Mike, I don't think you should talk to him. He might upset you.
Rachel, I'm not a child. It's not going to upset me to talk about anything. All right?
Come on, Rachel, take it easy.
I just don't think he should talk to Mitch.
Well, I disagree. The time has to come sooner or later when I take responsibility myself for what happened to me. Not you. Now's the time.
That's right, honey. Come on, let's go. Come on.
I'll be outside.
Hello?
Yes, you're alone.
Yes, I am. What is it, Mitch?
I've been given some medication, so I tend to fall off, so I'm not going to talk very long.
All right, Mitch. What is it?
I talked to a lawyer that you
sent down to St. Croix.
Yes, Brian Bancroft.
Yes.
I hope that he was helpful to you.
Well, he said there's no case against me.
Yes, I know.
He said you and Rachel are not or won't testify against me.
That's right.
Well, why did you do that?
Because you saved her life, and I would go to hell for anyone who did that.
How?
Mitch, hello? Are you there, Mitch?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
That's good.
Why is it taking so long?
Rachel?
Yes, Mac?
You can come in now. I'm off the phone.
Okay, I'm coming. If you don't tell Mac the whole story, you're gonna have to go through this the rest of your life. I can't tell him I slept with Mitch. He'd never forgive me. Do you think you can live with it? You heard Mac. I turn off problems like a faucet. Now, suppose Mitch Blake comes back to Bay City.
Rachel?